Did you know there's something within you that even cats can perceive? No, it's not a coincidence. It's something far deeper, spiritual. With their piercing eyes, they see something many of us don't even recognize, a divine essence pulsing within our souls. And what's even more remarkable, you are being observed by those who sense what lies beyond the visible, what is invisible to the eyes of the world. With every gaze, every approach, there's a message you need to hear, a divine calling that echoes throughout your life. This video will unveil this mystery, connecting the spiritual signs that manifest along our faith journey. But before we dive into this powerful revelation, do yourself a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Many people who watch the videos aren't subscribed, and by subscribing, you'll ensure you never miss content that could transform your spiritual life. Oh, and don't forget to like the video. It helps spread these teachings so more people can be reached. Now let's explore together the invisible signs that only the chosen can perceive. Have you ever noticed how cats don't simply follow anyone? Their choices seem almost mystical, and when one locks eyes with you, follows your steps, or curls up near your presence repeatedly, it's not just curiosity or instinct. It's something far deeper, something sacred. In the spiritual realm, animals, especially cats, are often seen as vessels of discernment. Throughout the Bible, we see that creation itself responds to divine presence. Just as the donkey recognized the angel blocking Balaam's path, Numbers 22:21-34, these creatures are attuned to the unseen. When a cat chooses you, it may be perceiving your spiritual frequency, sensing your calling, your inner awakening, or perhaps the grace and purpose written into your soul. The chosen often carry a resonance that stirs heaven and earth, even if they don't yet recognize it in themselves. Just like young David, who was overlooked by his family but chosen by God. You may not see what's within you, but others, especially creatures attuned to the Reino de Deus, can sense the light you're carrying. And maybe you've felt this in the stillness, how a cat lingers near you during moments of sadness, contemplation, or spiritual searching. This isn't by chance. These animals, though quiet and enigmatic, are drawn to souls marked by a divine calling, to people who carry within them the seeds of faith, the longing for redemption, or the silent ache of repentance. Like Nicodemus visiting Jesus in the night seeking truth, those who are being called deeper often emit a silent cry, and creation hears it. Your aura may reflect the weight of your journey, the shadow of past sins, the yearning for forgiveness, and the quiet embers of hope. The cat, in its gaze and stillness, bears witness to that. It recognizes a traveler between realms, someone whose spirit is awakening to the Nova Alianza, someone being prepared for Intimidade com Deus. You're not just followed, you're being recognized, not just observed. You're being remembered by a creation that never forgot who you are. There's something otherworldly in the way a cat stares. It's not just observation, it's perception. Their eyes don't just see shadows and light. They pierce layers. While we walk blinded by the visible, cats often dwell in the spaces in between. They observe your faith, your doubts, your spiritual wounds, and even the light you're afraid to let shine. Their gaze acts like a spiritual mirror, reflecting back what's hidden within you, your pain, your potential, your longing for salvation. When a cat locks eyes with you, it's as if they're reminding you of what heaven already knows. You are seen, not just for what you do, but for who you are in spirit. In the same way that Jesus saw through the woman at the well, not just her sins, but her thirst for truth, these creatures look past your surface and into your eternal core. They see your need for redemption, your struggle with temptation, and your silent prayers for forgiveness. They perceive the journey you're on, even the parts you haven't dared to face yet. And when that gaze lingers, something begins to stir. You may feel uncomfortable, exposed, or strangely comforted, as if you've been recognized by a messenger from the unseen. Just like the Espírito Santo, who gently reveals the hidden things in our hearts, cats carry a subtle ministry. They aren't just pets or companions. For the chosen, they are signals from the Reino Eterno, inviting reflection, healing, and deep discernment is spiritual. They sense the spiritual battles you're fighting, the ones no one sees. Your anxiety, your secret cries, your internal warfare between obedience and rebellion, they perceive it all. They don't flinch or judge, they simply remain watching, present. Their silence says more than words ever could. It's an invitation to self-awareness and cura interior, to face what you've buried and let the graça of God do what only it can, transformar sua vida. In the eyes of these creatures, some have found a strange peace, as if a divine reminder whispers through their stare, you are not alone, your soul is not hidden, the Gloria de Deus still wants to shine through you. There's an ancient bond between certain beings and the cosmos. When you encounter a cat, it's not just a random meeting. It's an encounter between two souls that have crossed paths before, perhaps in another dimension, perhaps long ago in the Reino de Mi. Deus. In many ways, cats carry within them a deep proposito divino, an ancient purpose to remind you of your calling, your mission, and the light that you are meant to awaken in the world. Just as the disciples of Christ were chosen before birth to walk in His light, so too are some of us chosen to carry a resonance that is felt across time. Cats, with their otherworldly aura, become like the luz do mundo, bringing reminders of the verdades eternas and the deep connection to the divine that we are. Often unaware of, they vibrate on a frequency that awakens something inside of you, something that perhaps lies dormant. This bond is not just spiritual but cosmic, and it echoes back to the days of the Nacimiento de Jesus, when the stars themselves bore witness to the arrival of the Savior. In the grand story of the Bible, there are moments when the celestial and the earthly intersect. When Deus called His people into their destiny, it was often accompanied by signs, by angels, by celestial movements. The star that led the wise men to the birthplace of Christ was a cosmic reminder of the mission on earth, a reminder that we are all part of a Reino Eterno, where time and space do not constrain the divine purpose. Similarly, the cats that cross our paths are divine messengers, bringing us closer to our spiritual roots, inviting us to reconnect with our higher selves. They carry a message of salvação, reminding us that we are not of this world, but rather from a place that transcends earthly understanding. As we journey through life, just as Christ's baptismo marked the beginning of His earthly ministry, encounters with these beings often mark spiritual awakenings. We're called to remember who we are, to step into our mission on this earth, and to shine with the light that Christ set in motion through His birth, death, and resurrection. There's a divine timing to everything, and if you've ever experienced the appearance of a cat during a period of doubt, pain, or awakening, you'll know it's no coincidence. These creatures don't just wander into our lives by chance. They appear when we need them most, offering an energy of misericordia and graça that speaks to the depths of our souls. Just as Jesus calmed the storm in the Mar de Galilea, bringing peace to the disciples' troubled hearts, cats have a similar effect on our spirits when they show up. They don't demand anything from us. They simply permanecem, offering their quiet presence. In their stillness, they invite us to breathe, to rest in the moment, and to remember that peace is always available, even in the chaos of life. In times of hardship, when we feel disconnected from the divine, cats come as gentle reminders of the amor that surrounds us. The way a cat enters your life at pivotal moments mirrors how Deus shows up for His people, when we are most in need, when our hearts are heavy, or when our spiritual journey requires a shift. In the Bible, we see how God used unexpected messengers to bring peace, clarity, or strength to those in distress. Just like the filho prodigo, who returned home after hitting rock bottom, a cat's appearance often marks the beginning of a spiritual transformação de vida. They remind us of the promessa, do Espírito Santo, that God's presence is always near, even when we can't see or feel it. Whether in the quiet of the night or during the chaos of a storm, these feline companions become symbols of proteção divina, offering their company and grounding our spirits in Fé. Their silent presence teaches us that sometimes just being still and allowing ourselves to ser curados is the first step toward salvação. Have you ever noticed how certain energies seem to attract the right people or circumstances? It's as though the universe itself is responding to your internal vibration. Gatos, in their mysterious way, are often drawn to souls in transition, to those who are carrying a shift in their proposito divino. This phenomenon isn't random. It's spiritual alignment at its finest, just like when Jesus was led into the desert to face temptation, where every step was orchestrated for his preparation. The appearance of a cat is no different. It's a reminder that even in times of uncertainty or spiritual provação, there is a force working behind the scenes, guiding you toward the right encounters. Your fe and discernimento espiritual attract these experiences like a imán, pulling in what you need for your spiritual growth. In the Bible, we see how God often used unexpected events to draw his people closer to his will. The journey of the bom Samaritano is one of profound spiritual alignment. He didn't hesitate when he saw someone in need, and because of his willingness to respond to the divine call, he became the vessel through which God's love and misericordia flowed. Similarly, your own energia can pull in the right circumstances, the right messages, and yes, even the right cats. These animals, often appearing when your soul is in flux, are reminders that God is always with you, working in ways beyond your comprehension. They are like mensajeros, showing you that you are not alone in your spiritual journey. They bring clarity in the fog, and with each quiet gaze, they remind you to trust the divine pull that has led you to this moment. In the sacred teachings of the Bible, we learn that God uses various means to protect and guide his people. Just as the Espírito Santo acts as a filter to cleanse our hearts and minds, so, too, can certain animals, like gatos, serve as spiritual guardians in our lives. These seemingly ordinary creatures possess an extraordinary ability to sense energies, both positive and negative. They are often seen as the protectors of our spaces, acting as filtros energeticos that absorb negative emotions, spiritual clutter, and even unseen forces that threaten our peace. Just as Jesus calmed the storm on the Sea of Galilee with a word, these cats have an innate ability to calm the unseen turbulence around us, creating an environment of peace and proteção. This protection is subtle but real. You might notice that after spending time with a cat, your anxiety lessens, your thoughts clear, or you simply feel at ease. This is the cat acting as a guardian espiritual, absorbing the heavy emotions that have been lingering around you. Their presence can be likened to the way Jesus walked with his disciples, providing a sense of security and unwavering peace. Gatos seem to show up when you're at your lowest or most vulnerable, offering not just physical warmth, but cura interior as well. They are reminders that we are not alone in our struggles, and through God's guidance, even in times of turmoil, we are being protected, purified, and prepared for the next chapter of our journey. Not every cat you encounter carries the weight of a spiritual mission. In the same way that Jesus often spoke of the sementes of faith planted in different types of soil, not every cat resonates with the same spiritual energy. Yet when you encounter a cat that is spiritually attuned, you will feel it. Just like when you encounter someone who truly embodies the Amor of God, their presence brings a profound sense of tranquilidad and connection. These cats don't just offer affection or companionship, they seem to operate on a higher plane, appearing during moments of crisis or spiritual transition, almost as if summoned by your proposito divino. This phenomenon is much like when Jesus called his disciples to follow him. They were drawn not just by his words, but by the unique and unmistakable luz do mundo that he carried. Similarly, the spiritually attuned cat may appear without warning, and their deep gaze seems to know something about you that even you haven't fully understood. They come as guides, offering protection and sometimes even a gentle reminder of your missão divina. It's as if they can recognize the discernimento espiritual that is beginning to grow within you, gently, guiding you back onto the path of righteousness, much like the filho prodigo finding his way back home. They don't need to announce their role, they simply are, and in their presence you are reminded that there is a greater plan unfolding in your life. In the stillness of the night, when the world is quiet, the spiritual realm can communicate with us in ways that transcend our waking experiences. Gatos, those silent companions, often find their way into our dreams, guiding us through the unconscious corridors of our soul. Much like Jesus often spoke in parables to unveil deeper truths, these dreams are not mere figments of the imagination, but spiritual messages, whispers from the Reino de Deus, urging us to pay attention. These feline visitations in our dreams are often accompanied by a sense of protecção and cura interior, gently nudging us towards a place of arrependimento or healing that we may not yet consciously recognize. Just as Jesus spoke to his followers through visions, parables, and miracles, so too do these spiritual cats offer us an invitation into a deeper connection with God. Their eyes, wise and full of knowledge, seem to understand things beyond our comprehension. In the dream world, where time and space have no bounds, they are messengers who bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen. The dreams themselves may not always make immediate sense, but the Espírito Santo moves through them, stirring something within us, a stirring of our faith, a reminder of our chamado a missão, or perhaps a call to intimidade com Deus. These dreams can be a powerful tool for transformation, just as Jesus used the signs and wonders to reveal God's plans for humanity. They remind us that in every moment, awake or asleep, God is actively present, drawing us closer to him. There's something profoundly misterioso about the way gatos show up in our lives, especially for those who may not understand or even feel a strong affection for them. It's as though their presence defies our natural inclinations, stepping into our lives when we least expect it, offering a proteção espiritual that we may not always appreciate, but desperately need. Just as Jesus came into the world as a savior, despite many rejecting him, so too do these cats enter our lives, unwanted yet undeniably present. Their protection is not based on mutual affection, but on their higher purpose, a purpose ordained by the Proposito Divino. In the same way that Jesus showed compassion to those who doubted and questioned him, cats protect us even when we might not understand their intentions. Gatos have an innate ability to sense when danger looms or when energies are misaligned. Their presence is not always soft or gentle, but it is unwavering. Just as Jesus was the Cordeiro de Deus, sent to protect humanity from the consequences of sin, so these spiritual cats offer a layer of protection, helping us navigate through the complexities of life, even when we resist or misunderstand their role. They serve as a reminder that faith at times requires trust in what we cannot see or understand, just as the redenção and salvação brought by Jesus was often misunderstood by those closest to him. In life, we often seek significance and meaning. We look for signs, seeking to confirm our proposito divino or to ensure we're on the right path. But what if the truth is simpler than we think? What if those who seem to follow us are not doing so out of randomness, but rather to help us remember something incredibly vital about ourselves? Gatos, much like the spiritual journey of Jesus' followers, appear not to simply accompany us, but to remind us of who we are and what we are meant to do. Jesus' journey was one of remembrance, of bringing us back to the Nova Aliança with God. Similarly, these spiritual companions, the cats, act as reminders of the deeper truths of our existence. They do not just walk beside us, they encourage us to awaken the hidden potential within, guiding us back to the Reino de Deus through their silent and sacred presence. Just as Jesus healed and restored through his miracles, the cats bring clarity, encouraging us to embrace our luz and walk in discernimento espiritual, ready to fulfill our calling. They remind us in the quietest of ways that there's more to life than meets the eye. Their presence whispers to us, "You are more than you know." Have you ever felt that something spiritual is happening around you but couldn't quite understand it? Did you enjoy what you heard and want to learn more? Then leave your thoughts in the comments and share your experience. We're here to build a faith journey together, and your testimony could be the key to transforming others' lives. If this content touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on the next teachings. Turn on notifications to be the first to access the transformative videos coming your way. And since you've made it this far, don't miss the next recommended video on the screen. It's the next step to deepening your spiritual journey. I hope to see you in the next videos. Until then, may you continue to be guided by divine light.